Hey there! Thank you for watching my new video. I've got a new Tunisian stitch for you. It's a Tunisian chill crochet stitch. And you can see a little bit more longer stripes on top. And this is the front and this is the back. So I'm going to show you how you can crochet this stitch. So I've got some yarn and I've got my crochet hook, 6mm, my Tunisian crochet hook. So first let's make a slip knot, and for this stitch you need an even number of chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm gonna do a small swatch for you. You can choose to make the stitches in top of this stitch over here, this chain, or I can use the back bump over here. So the first stitch you're gonna skip over here, and in the next stitch I'm gonna do the back bumps right now. So you get a nice edge on the bottom, and we're gonna draw up loops in every back bump of this chain, these chains. I'm sorry. So every back bump, draw up a loop. Okay, so here it is, the last stitch over here. And you can see, if I'm turning my work, that the bottom has nice V's over here. Okay, so for the returning pass, yarn over pull through the first stitch. This is gonna be your edge. And now yarn over pull through 2 loops. Yarn over pull through 2 loops. And do this until you are having 1 loop left on your hook. Okay, so now for the next row, I'm gonna call it row 1 because this was the base. You need to pay attention because there are 2 rows you need to repeat. So first, this loop is a side, so we're gonna skip this side over here. And you can see the vertical bar. So first we're gonna draw up a loop in that vertical bar. And now, I hope you can see it, that you have a front loop and a back loop over here. I hope it's visible for you. So I'm gonna grab this stitch over here so maybe it's more visible. You've got your front loop over here, and here is your back loop. So if you're gonna pull it apart a bit, you can see a little gap over here, and we need to put our hook in that gap. So I have my loop on my hook and my first stitch done, and now put your hook in that vertical bar and push it backwards so you get into that hole over here, and draw up a loop. Now in the next stitch, just in front of that vertical bar, draw up a loop, and on the next stitch go between the front and the back loop over here. So just put it to the back. You can see here the back loop, and here's the front loop, and draw up a loop. So just go in the front of the vertical bar and then in between the front and back loop from the next stitch. Now into the front, and in the next stitch in between. So if you start with a loop on the front, then you need to end with a loop in between before you are at the edge. So keep that in mind. So turn your work a bit, and you can see here the both loops on the side where you put your hook into. So grab both loops and draw up a loop. Now yarn over, pull through the first loop on your hook, and now yarn over, pull through 2 loops. yarn over, pull through 2 loops, etc. for the returning pass or the backward pass until you have 1 loop on your hook left. Okay, so I made this swatch, that green swatch over here yesterday, and what I had on hand, I didn't know what I had on hand, but I had something that I put it on the left side or the right side for me. So for me the right side was that I started with a front loop, front vertical bar, and then when I put it on the left side I needed to change. So what we're gonna do now, so this was for me a nice reminder when someone talked to me, well, my kids were talking to me sometimes, or I forgot where I needed to start, so I had something on the left and on the right side of me. So that loop on my hook is that side over here, so you're gonna skip that. And we started with a vertical bar front side stitch. So now we're gonna start with a stitch in between. So in between the front vertical bar and the back loop. So go in between to the back and draw up a loop. And now into the next vertical bar on the front, draw up a loop. And now just alter between, in between, drawing up a loop and in the front of the vertical bar. I guess there are names for these kind of stitches, but I'm just gonna call it however I'm just doing my stitches, so bear with me a bit. So because you started with a loop in between the front and back loop, you have to end with a stitch in the front loop only, or in the vertical bar only, like this. And don't forget about the side, so turn your work a bit and you can see here both loops where you put your hook and draw up a loop. Now yarn over, pull through the first loop, and now yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and just do this until you have 1 loop left on your hook. Okay, so we need to alter now between, so I'm gonna put my needle to the right now. We need to alter between starting with a front loop and with a in-between loop. So now we need to go into that first stitch, so the side you're gonna skip. Now into the vertical bar on the front, draw up a loop. And now in the next stitch you're gonna put it in between the front and the back loop. And now in the vertical bar in the front, and now in the next stitch in between. And do this until you are at the end. And I'm going to show you how you can see when where you need to start your stitches if you don't have a reminder with a needle or something besides you. So you can see on your stitches of your pattern where you need to start. Okay, so we just started with a front loop, and we need to go over with a in between for this row. And I hope you can see what I mean, that if you are having a bigger loop on top over here and a loop that's going a little bit inwards, that means that here you need to start with a loop in between. So in between you need to draw up a loop, and then in a vertical bar on the front over here, and this is in between, and this is on the front, etc. So I hope you can see what I mean, because some stitches are a little bit taller. These are taller over here, and these are shorter. So when you see a shorter stitch at the beginning, you need to start with a in between drawing up a loop and then on the front. So I'm gonna make this row, and then you can see for the next row how it looks different than this row. So I'm gonna start with in between, drawing up a loop, and now in front of that vertical bar. And don't forget the sides. Okay, so maybe you can see the difference now, because now that first stitch over here is the taller stitch, so, and this lays a little bit in between to the back, so you need to start here with a front loop in a vertical bar, and then in between, front, in between, front, in between, front, in between. So I explained it well enough. So just alter between the rows, the two rows, and then you made your Tunisian chill crochet stitch. So if you liked it, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me them in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on the notifications so you get a message when I upload a new video. And for now I just wish you happy crocheting and hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye!